I'm going to be discussing the history and culture of video games. The first video games were created in the early 1960s. The professors and students in computer science departments at universities, such as MIT, would write simple programs as an intellectual exercise. At the time, all computer programming involved punch cards. It wasn't until the late 1970s that computers became compact enough and cheap enough for ordinary people to purchase them and keep them in their homes. And this is when game consoles and video arcades came into existence. However, in the early 1980s, video arcades started to drop off as consoles and PCs became more ubiquitous and powerful. Computer gaming became something social once consoles were capable of handling multiple controllers at a time. By the 1990s, the improvement in technology allowed for more sophisticated games with better graphics. Also, LANs, or local area networks, allowed for larger groups of people to play together. In 1996, the first truly popular multiplayer game, Quake, was released, and the gaming community has never looked back. Up until the mid-90s, all of the PCs and consoles had one thing in common. They all required a physical presence. You and your friends could play together if you were physically together, be it at someone's house or at a LAN party, where large groups would gather in a room or even a building that shared a hardwired network. With the advent of LAN parties came the critical mass necessary for gaming culture to form. Tournaments and parties became the norm. Magazines for and about gaming gamers were formed and published. This all changes again in the late 90s and early 2000s with the advent of the internet and improved wireless connections. Once connection speeds to the internet became sufficiently fast enough for real-time gameplay, it became possible for gamers to individually play by themselves in the comfort of their own homes, yet be part of a global gaming community. The first game television channel, G4, began broadcasting in 2002. The introduction of the smartphone exponentially expanded the gaming community by allowing multi-person gaming based on an ubiquitous pocket device, which made gamers out of people who never considered themselves such before. Gaming culture is a fully matured industry and subculture of our society. Gaming has gone worldwide and even into orbit. Astronauts are playing video games in space. Gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry with magazines, competitors, tournaments based on esports, television channels, accessory manufacturers, clothing, toys. There's a whole industry based on YouTube for gamers to watch videos by other gamers or even watch live streams. Once the province of children, gaming is no longer a youth subculture. The average gamer's age is in their early to mid-30s. The latest games are sophisticated, detailed worlds that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to create, just like a blockbuster movie. Today, there are games based on movies, movies based on games, and entire book series based on expanding the world's games created. Like most subcultures, gaming has its own unique vocabulary. Mana is one of the more common names for the resource needed to power magical spells or abilities within a game. Is an acronym for out of mana, which is something you would tell your teammates so they know you need to recharge your supply. DPS, or damage per second, and it refers to how much damage you can do to someone else, like that. Buff is a common appellation for referring to a temporary positive status change, such as giving someone 5% more health for 2 minutes, like buffing something to make it shinier. Debuff is its reverse. AFK means that you are away from your keyboard, telling your teammates that you need to stop playing and do something else for a short period of time. It also means don't kick me while I'm doing this. Aggro means to cause the game's artificial intelligence to focus its attention or attacks upon an individual of the team, usually one who has especially high health or defensive stats, so that the other teammates can take action against the opponent. My own personal experience within the gamer culture is mixed between 1, single-player games, where I'm playing alone against the game itself, 2, cooperative, where I'm playing against the game, but with other people as well, be they real-life friends or just people I've met online, randomly or by choice, and 3, PvP or player versus player. This would be either individual against individual, teams against teams, or even a super strong individual against a team. For instance, Predator, Hunting Grounds, which is based on the movie of an alien hunter against soldiers. Personally, I mostly play single-player or cooperative games. When I play cooperatives, I play certain games with actual friends, and other games almost exclusively with people I've met only online. Online friends come and go depending on time zones, days of the week, holidays. I enjoy the gaming culture for the escape. Because I'm on the autism section and have difficulty with recognizing facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language, gaming allows me to socialize within my own comfort zone. In conclusion, the gaming culture is constantly changing and evolving, with smartphones and cloud gaming making video games more and more accessible to a growing population. Someday, we'll all be considered gamers.